Hey guys, welcome back. This is Milu Angelique on Drum Talk TV here at the NAMM Show 2019, and I am here with Mike of ATV. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. My feet are actually making it through the show. I'm not going to need a wheelchair, so I'm a happy guy.
Nice, nice, nice. And correction, it is ATV Corporation, so I wanted to make sure I clear that up for you.
No problem.
All right, so he's actually going to showcase today fresh stuff for 2019. He has an amazing kit that we want to take a look at. So what is it all about?
Well, this company was started by the founder of Roland, a guy named Mr. Kakahashi. We call him Mr. K because most people can't pronounce his name. This is the same guy who invented MIDI. He changed the way we make music worldwide, which blows my mind every time I think about it. When we started the company, he said, we want to do one thing. We want to make the electronic drum experience amazing. And for me, it's about reminding ourselves when we sit down and play our instrument, whatever it is, electronic drums, whatever the instrument is, why we play the instrument we play. Because something touched us in our soul, right? And so we've done this for the past 4 years, just trying to build all those things in to make you want to play your instrument. And for 2019, we have something that I think is pretty exciting. What we have here is the new A-Drums Artist Pro set. Difference being, has the same module, the 85 module that we've had for about 3 years now. Completely upgradable as firmware and adding sounds through our sound store and whatnot. But this drum set's really great because it has actual acoustic drum sizes. It's a great little kit, kind of mimics mine. 8, 10, 12 rack toms, 14 and 16-inch floor toms, 20-inch kick, and a 14-inch 10-lug snare drum. It's amazing to sit down and play electronic drums and not feel like you're playing electronics, and that's our goal. So additionally, we've introduced a new concept for this year, and this is the snare drum that's on the kit that comes with the kit. A-Drums Artist Pro. This is the finish that will ship, and it's a walnut finish on maple. It's a beautiful drum, comes off the line right along with many, many, many high-end drum sets. Then we build in our 7-sensor advanced triggering system into it. But for the first time with an electronic drum set, there are breather holes on every drum. Now, most electronic drums that look like acoustic drums don't function as acoustic drums. These do. They have great bearing edges, amazing maple shells, and for the first time, I have a strainer and snare wires. Now, when you have the mesh heads on, you don't hear them at all. But now I can pull the mesh heads off and put on acoustic heads, and I have a hybrid drum, a true hybrid snare drum for the first time. No mess, no fuss. You don't have to put a trigger on and worry about its position and whatnot. So it's really, really, really exciting for me. Yeah. Few things that also make the experience great is the cymbals. You can play anywhere on them, like anywhere on the playing surface, just like you can with that acoustic cymbal right there that's playing real loud. You can choke the cymbal anywhere you want, anywhere 360. It's amazing. We have cymbals as small as 10-inch. Remember, it's about the experience. Like when you play a splash cymbal, you don't play it the same way you play a 16, right? I don't know about everyone else, but when I play a splash cymbal, pretty much I'm annihilating it all the time. I say, gosh. I break them. That's the only cymbals I break. But you don't play it the way you play a 16 or an effect cymbal or a China cymbal. And we expect a certain feel when we hit a China, the feel of the shoulder of the stick on the round part of the cymbal. So again, part of the experience. Now we couple that with the sound design on our 85 drum module, which I say is like mini drum modules. When they end up being brought into the world by a company, when they hit the market, they're dead immediately. They're dead. Companies moved on. They don't update them. They don't do firmware updates. This has been out for about 3 years, and we've done 3 major firmware updates. We have 2 planned for this year, so it's an evolving piece of gear. In fact, I can show you how if we kind of step inside here.
Yeah, of course, let's check this out. This is beautiful.
Welcome to my lair. So what we have here, there's the 85 module right here. Really small, compact. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles because none of us play percussion or drums to push buttons. We want to hit stuff. So for late this year, we have our expansion box. We call our ADIO expander. And it adds, for those people who want it, more audio outputs. So instead of stereo outputs, you have 8 audio outputs and a few more trigger inputs, as well as standard 5-pin MIDI DIN. 5-pin MIDI DIN is really great if I want to take the data that I'm generating and, let's say, trigger a synthesizer or another drum box or something like that. So that'll be for late 2019. Earlier than that, though, is we're going to get this piece of software. It's a free piece of software, and it's a wireless controller for the 85 module. So let's say, instead of going into the small screen, I can just come up here and change volumes, panning. I can change assignments. Immediately change drum assignments, things like that, right from my iPad. So it'll be an new lips, iOS app. All right. So that'll be out about mid-year. Oh, and it's free. That's my favorite price.
That is very interesting. That is very cool.
You know, drummers, we have to drag into the technology thing. Sorry, guys. And one more piece of software here. Kind of hard to see on this on the computer. It's actually on the monitor in back of us. But one of the biggest requests for the 85 and for electronic drums in general is the ability to create your own instrument. Now, I do a lot of this sound design and I love doing it, but people say, you know, I want a snare drum of my own choosing. So on the left, we have a bunch of waveforms. And waveforms, there's a snare drum, basically fortissimo, forte, mezzo piano. And I have 4 layers. So I can this easily just say I'm going to create a 4-layer snare drum. It's like doing this upside down and backwards. It's very strange. Either that or I haven't taken my meds today. Here we go. All right.
It's also for the last NAMM, so that could be part of it as well.
Yeah, that's true. Now, this is what we call the switch point. So this is very soft, up to as loud as you can play in MIDI, which is 127. So I can change the point at which the sounds go from one sound to the next, or one sample to the next, just by dragging that easily. And then I export it, and it saves it in the file format for the 85. It transfers via Ethernet or Wi-Fi or SD card. It's really, 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 really simple, as you can see. Another feature too that's going to happen is if you want to say a tambourine on that top snare drum, I would just grab a tambourine sample, drag it and drop it on top, and a mixer will come up. You know, say, oh, hey, I can say, okay, I want that much of the tambourine volume. Great, okay, makes a new WAV file and exports it as the instrument. Really simple because it's drummers.
I know, we try not to take offense to this when people say that, but we understand as well.
Yeah, we totally understand. I can say it because I'm one, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, that's ATV, and that's what's here for 2019. It's an exciting time for me, for electronic percussion, and I appreciate you coming by and talking to us.
Of course, thank you for the time, and honestly, this is a huge thing for me because one of the biggest things that took me away from ever really getting an electronic drum set was the feel of it. You know, but having that actual skin on the snare, that's going to give me that feeling, that punch back when I'm hitting it and it's punching me back, and it's just like a that power force, you know?
You know, I think one of the things that keyboard players have been doing this, to see the DX7 came out in like 1983. You weren't born yet, so which makes me angry. But so they've been dealing with playing and having the sound coming from somewhere else, an amplifier, for a long time. They're used to it. You know, in fact, I think we have keyboard players that have never played an acoustic piano. It's going to happen with drums, I think. But drummers are used to that feedback of the sound hitting you, and that. You know, my wife always asks me, "Why do you play the music so loud?" What? And I said, "What?" No. And I said, because I wanted to feel like I do when I'm at work. When I'm playing, you're surrounded and your bones feel the sound, and that's the love for me. I just, it fills my soul. So with this, you're getting a lot of the sensory impact, and with really good monitoring, you'll achieve that exact same feeling. And it's been a goal of mine since my first electronic drum set in 1984. Yeah. Just like,
Let's just take a moment of silence. No, yeah, and that's really, really cool. And that's the things that I'm learning throughout NAMM this whole week. It's just like the advancements that have been, you know, progressing. And it is beautiful to see that, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I stopped messing with electronic drums a while ago because of all these little things. But now they're getting fixed slowly and surely. And now that, you know, they have the mesh on them, but now they have the real drum head on it. Like, it's just such an advancement, and I'm so excited. I mean, this is 2019. I can't even imagine what's going to come out 2020. I don't even know. I don't. Yeah, we'll see him next year, so we'll know next year what's next year. 1 year at a time. 1 year at a time. But again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So definitely check them out, okay? ATV. I am Milu Angelique on Drum Talk TV. Stay tuned for more interviews from the rest of the guys of Drum Talk TV, and we'll see you guys later.
yeah, and remember, Drum Talk TV. Watch it now. Watch it often. It rocks.